Good morning, everyone. I've gone hypermobile today. It's such a beautiful day. Spring is here and the flowers are out, the birds are singing, the cars are racing, the fountain's back up and running again after being caught in winter freeze. So I thought I would talk about time. I thought it would be a good opportunity. I'm going to read from a writing from Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. You've heard me talk of him before. He's a realized saint from India, from Bombay, a cigarette maker. As everybody knows, that's one of my favorite things about him, to realize God and then be a cigarette maker. Seems somehow poetically perfect to me. Anyway, he writes, this is from that book written about an interview that he had with some of his disciples. He's a contemporary. He lived not too long ago in Bombay. I don't think he's still alive, but anyway, somebody may know better. I'm right in the shade of a tree, which is good and bad. Good for me, bad for the camera. Between the banks of pain and pleasure, the river of life flows. It is only when the mind refuses to flow with life and gets stuck at the banks that it becomes a problem. By flowing with life, I mean acceptance, letting come what comes and go what goes. Desire not, fear not, observe the actual as and when it happens, for you are not what happens, you are to whom it happens. Ultimately, even the observer you are not. You are the ultimate potentiality of which the all-embracing consciousness is the manifestation and expression. Things and thoughts have been changing all the time, but the feeling that what is now is real has never changed, even in a dream. Desire is the memory of pleasure, and fear is the memory of pain. Both make the mind restless. Moments of pleasure are merely gaps in the stream of pain. How can the mind be happy? A questioner says, between the spirit and the body, is it love that provides the bridge? Maharaj responds, what else? Mind creates the abyss, the heart crosses it. I think that's such a beautiful statement there. But this notion of being fully present, fully being here now, you've heard us talk in the past that this notion of past, present, and future is purely a construct of your thinking. That you have no evidence of the past. Even when you think of the past, you do it in the present. It only has an existence because of its existence in the present. You know, a memory is in the present. It is not in the past. So it's a very interesting idea that your past, is, he says, your fear is the result of memory of pain, and desire is the memory of pleasure. I like to break that down to that notion that in the beginning, there is only now. There is nothing else. That your idea of the past are all of the things that you didn't let flow by in the river of time. You didn't let them just come, play their part, and go. You tried to grab them and hold on to them. You liked them. You had an attachment to them. And that's why they call it an attachment. Because you actually reach out and you grab the present moment and you try to make it permanent, like you. Try to make it immortal, like you. Make it infinite, like you. So you grab something out of the flowing present and you put it in the mind. You try to share your permanence with it. You try to share your isness with it. So you put it in the mind and it becomes the past. It becomes a memory. And the problem with that is not a big one unless you let it be a big one, is that it then affects your view of the present. You can't see the present as it is anymore. You're seeing it through the lens of your past. And so by doing that, you can't see God. That's why we see objects and worlds and peoples and whatnot. Because we have all of these desires, or not desires, but all of these attachments that we've stored up in the mind that have become lenses through which we observe the present, and we can no longer see the divine. We can no longer see pure love in action. We can never not see the manifestation anymore because it's being interpreted so heavily through so many colored lenses. And what that does is it takes your present and it makes it inadequate. You know, your attachments, you look at it, there's no pizza in the present, I want pizza. There's no girlfriend, boyfriend in the present. There's no money in the present. I need all of these things, want all these things. And so that produces your need for a future. Because to manifest these attachments into the present, now you need a plan. You've got to go get some money. You've got to go get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You've got to go get a bigger house or a nicer car or a better job. You know, so these poisons of attachment from the past prevent you from being content in this present moment. Block your joy in this present moment. You know, we're looking through the mind, which is containing all of these things. And Sri Nisargadatta just said, it's the mind that creates the abyss. What does he mean by that? Well, as you know from past talks, the mind only does two things, right? It only does two things. It differentiates, it looks for the differences between things, and then it categorizes those things. That's all it does. So it creates separateness. It creates isolation. It creates that sense of smallness, your present set of restrictions and limitations, which we mistakenly call personality. You know, it creates that experience of the moment. So let go of this idea. Take a steady time each day, today in particular. Take a moment to sit down and be fully present. Enjoy for a moment what it means to exist. You know, open up all of your mind, all of your body, your soul to being the observer. Know with the knowledge that this moment is perfect and divine as it is. It may not be perfect to a body, it may not be perfect to a mind. Irrelevant. You are divine. You are a soul, eternally perfect, eternally free. So enjoy the moment today. Don't let the stress of the ideation of past wear on you. Don't let memories of pleasantries create a sense of lack in the moment for you. Be full, be happy, be content. It is your nature, and that is the path to our realization. And today is your new opportunity, like every day, to find that out.